Let us get started. Hi, Faith. Welcome. Hi, Tayo. Welcome to this masterclass. My name is Noah, and I've got Tayo as well for this session. Really promises to be an insightful one. So, what is the big promise for us at the end of this session? So, leading up to this, we've mapped out a lot of things that we believe will change your life. So basically we want to talk about how can you turn your everyday skills into a six-figure career. So we've seen it time and time, Tayo, where
Right.
lots of our students over the years, they've gone on and turned their everyday skills, like communication, active listening, documentation, presentation like this into $120,000 career. Many of them are thriving today. And one thing that always come to mind is they say, hey, before they joined, they were like, do I need a degree in tech? Do I need to have prior experience in tech? Do I need to have what else is the popular one? Like, am I too old? All of these questions on top of their mind. And we're always saying that, hey, come, let us show you how you can do this. There's so many people that are now doing this, and I'm sure that this is now not news, but of course, it's still news to so many people who may know, but they don't know exactly how this is happening. So today, we want to work on that journey to explain exactly how people are turning their everyday skills into a tech career. And there's so much perks when you're working in tech. We know that, it gives you a lot of flexibility. Everything that is happening in the world right now is tied to tech. Look around your house, even the road, the malls, every facet of life involves one tech or the other. So it is a growing industry. There's lots of opportunity in tech, and we want more people, especially African immigrants, to come into this country and know that and see what is possible and be in a career where they have more flexibility, they have more joy around what they're doing, and more importantly, they are leveraging their skills to able to change their life. So at the end of this webinar, we've got like an amazing secret we want to review. So tools, these are techniques that would help you organize your job application when you get to that point, and also to find contact of recruiters. Like, for you to actually do the offensive job application that we always talk about in our program. So you
Yeah.
need to find the contact of recruiter so you can pitch to them and they can give you opportunity. And generally, the tools that help you optimize your job application. So I really, really encourage us to stay to the end. So we'll be revealing these tools that would really help you, whether you're applying. And this is not just for tech, it's for any job you're looking for. How do you get the contact of those recruiters and really, pitch yourself, your skills to them? But again, we're in a world where attention is like currency at the moment. So please, we want you to cut out all distraction. This will be worth your time. It will change your life. We've seen it time and time again after webinars like this. People come up and say, oh God, I learned something. I've never seen a webinar like this. There's so much information and belief that I have. Now I know what is possible, and I want to give it a go and try. So, and so many people have now gone on and changed their life through that process. So please cut out distraction. Let's pay attention to this. This information like cost thousands of dollars. Like people that come into our program, for example, these are some of the things that we share with them. I want to review those things here, almost for free. All we ask for is your time, and your focus, because if you're distracted, then you can't get anything out of this. So social media, emails, please, please, please cut that out and let's go on this promising journey. But what problem are we called to
My name is
solve?
Taya
So
Oriowo, and I'm the co
before I play this video, I want to just give you like a quick, context about why are we here? Why are we even like qualified to be talking about this in the first place? This was us at Canberra last year, but like I think that was July last year. So myself, Atayo, and the team as well at ThinkSkills, we were privileged to have the opportunity to showcase what we're doing at ThinkSkills at the Australian Parliament House, which was one of the highest moments for us, at ThinkSkills. We can't forget this day. It was a validation of, wow, you guys are making so much impact, and we want you to share. We had the opportunity to do this interview, and I want you to take a listen. Oops. All right, so let's wait that.
My name is Taya Oriowo.
Can you hear? Can you hear this?
And
my name is Noah, and I'm the founder
I can hear it.
So ThinkSkills is an ed tech company focused on helping immigrants thrive in their lives and their career. And we do that by
ensuring that they are empowered. Just like every other thing, you need to get skilled first. Skills are important. We do it ensuring that they get the right skills that they need. We train them, upskill them, and get them into thriving jobs here in Australia.
It is important because as immigrants, when we come to Australia, beautiful country, there's a restart process for us, and so many people fall off the line, get stuck in low-skill job, even though they've had great careers back home. So we are positioned to solve that problem, that helping people reskill, upskill, so that they can contribute to high-level job, high-skill job that Australian economy actually needs.
Absolutely, and just acknowledging the fact that it can be daunting. It's hard to start anything over again. Change is, even though it's constant, it's still something that scares a lot of people. And we do this by ensuring that they've got the right level of support. More than just the training, it's the impact for us. We want Africans, we want indigenous people in this country to thrive and to know that there's something much more out there for them to look forward to. So we bring the awareness, we bring the messaging, and we also bring the support, which I think it transcends beyond anything ever.
All right, so that's just the snapshot highlight of our interview at Canberra. But who am I? Basically, my name is Noah, but I also want you to watch this, so you can appreciate the journey from it. So this picture here was me like some 8 years ago, when I was doing some corporate training. So I've always had the flair of impacting people, both corporate, both community building, both helping people to upskill. Right now in Australia, we've started ThinkSkills almost 3 years going strong now, and we've helped a lot of people to change their life. But please watch this quick one.
Hey guys, it's Noah here, and I want to officially welcome you to my work. 9 years ago, I started building community, coaching, networking with people and professionals who are looking to get into tech job, build their career back in Nigeria. But fast forward to today, I've been able to help a lot of African immigrants across the world to secure 6-figure salary jobs in business analysis, project management, product owner, no-code tech career. And these are people who had fears like, I don't have prior tech experience, I'm not good at math, I'm too old, all of these limiting beliefs. And we've been able to explain the value and say, hey, these are limiting beliefs, and here is how you can overcome them. If you're somebody that is tired of your current situation and you want to get career advancement, I'll tell you a quick story. So about 13 years ago, straight out of school, I realized I need to stay in Ibafo, a developing site that barely had any light, and I didn't know how and what my next step would be. There was limited opportunity in the area, so much that the job application that I stumbled on, which advertised software testing, a no-code opportunity, was strange to me, but I gave it a go, and luckily I was invited for the interview. That was my first time of getting clarity on the true desire I had, which is to avoid coding or programming roles. As a fresh computer science student, I was not really interested in pursuing programming because I thought that was truly not my strength. As soon as I found no-code tech role, that lit me up. I committed myself to building skills in that area, and I can tell you, my life had changed forever. It wasn't obvious at that moment, but now I can tell you that that is the start of all the great things that I've been able to do. About 3 years ago, I moved to Australia, and my wife, then girlfriend, was also stuck in frustration, working in jobs that was below her skill level, and she wanted a way out. She was toiling, working back-to-back shift, barely keeping down her food before she ran to the next shift, and that was very concerning for me. So I pitched for her to get into tech. And hey, guess what? The normal reaction, I don't want to learn how to code. I think it's too complex. But I realized that I had not done a good job in educating and understanding that it's so flexible and there are other no-code tech roles that she could explore. I spent months explaining until one day she had a light bulb moment on the job that changed everything. Somebody that was in her care spat on her face. And as a build-up and compounding effect of all the education that have been doing. She was like, yes, I've had enough. And we went on that journey to transition, documenting every step on the things that worked, things that did not work. If you want to catch up on the rest of the story, I have a career secret newsletter link in my bio where I share process behind the scenes of not just how my wife was eventually able to transition, but other hundreds of people that I continue to help or have helped secure amazing jobs. This is for free. All you need to do is sign up for the newsletter. I'll see you on the other side. Welcome. Hey guys, it's Noah.
All right, so that's a quick overview of my journey. Of course, the things that I've done over the years can't just be summarized in a 2-minute video, but just to give you and appreciate the journey so far, right? And I've been focused on, community building. My number one calling, I believe, is to impact people, help people change their lives. So what really makes me happy is not the money I have, because your money does not make you happy. It's the impact that I make, alongside my team as well. So you've seen, a snapshot of my story, but this was how it all began as well. This was me as well, working and impacting people in the community. I started my career as a software tester, and that at that time I was just nervous. Like, I don't want to learn how to code; it's too difficult. All of that, even though I did computer science. So I started looking for my people, the people that I can serve. When I found out that, wow, tech is not all about coding. So when I started my career as a software tester, I realized that, oh, there are so many people as well that, they're like me, that don't want to learn how to code, but they still want to impact, work in tech. And that was how I started building community of software tester. You can see we had different events over the years. This was me a bit younger, engaging with people multiple times, over the years. And that was really how I started building the conviction, and I found my voice. Like, yes, I can actually share my knowledge and it can change people's life. So many of these guys here in this picture, many of them are now either founders, professionals, doing amazing thing, and that's what I'm saying. It's just like we've replicated ourselves, and that was in Nigeria. But even better is, well, not even better, like right now, over the last 3 years or so, myself, Tayo Tosin, the entire Sync Skills team, we've been able to replicate that to help people who are like, I'm in a job I don't like. I work too long hours. I want to make more money. I feel like I'm not fulfilled and I want to do something different. We've given them hope through this session like this to show them what is possible. And the people that do decide to take it, further and change their life, we've been able to help them change their life. So basically, that's the journey, and that took us to amazing places. For example, this was me networking with people in Canberra when we went to showcase. We networked with people from Indeed, LinkedIn, just those companies that connect more with how we can find more opportunities for African immigrants. Because, oh my God, I want more African immigrants to be involved in high growth career, to have more fulfillment, because I see how so many people struggle, in their career, in the work, and that limits the time that they have to do the precious things that they love, spending time with family, enjoying moments, seeing, the world, seeing Australia. And now, seeing that we've been able to help so many people achieve that, and they're like, oh my God, Sync Skills changed my life. Noah changed my life. Tara changed my life. Tosin changed my life. That always fuels us that, it's like when you have the cure to cancer, you need to spread the message a bit more. Like, you can do this, like shake people, like you can do this. You don't need to burn out to change your life. So we want to give people belief, and it has opened doors for us as well, because as we're serving, we're also like getting that back. That's the way nature works. When you give, you receive back. And we've been able to get into rooms that also has changed our life, met people that has changed my life. So for example, this is like the former High Commissioner to Australia, and this was in Canberra. We got exclusive access, to talk about the things that we're doing in the community. This was my coach. My coach came from, Canada, and is the author of Buy Back Your Time, one of my favorite books. So I learned and started networking with millionaires and started increasing my mindset around what is actually possible. You've heard the word, you're an average of the five people you spend your time with. So who are the people that are around you? What are they doing? Are they like people you aspire to become? So me, I'm like spending more time with people that I aspire to become. I learn from them. I see the mindset, and I want to share my learnings with people, and impact people positively. Also, in my local church, I sometimes lead the Sunday school, the children department as well, and that's the picture there. So now I'm going to pass it to Tayo as well to talk about a bit about. So this was the team at Canberra as well. We met the ACS president, that's the Australian Computer Society president in Canberra, and that was like really good for us. So I'm going to pass it to Tayo. Tayo needs to share a story as well. Tayo, back to you.
Terrific. Thank you, Noah. Really great introduction and a bit of an highlight of what the journey has looked like for us. But I want to especially welcome Faith and Chukwuebuka again to this session. Thank you both. Um, just even before I tell you guys a little bit about what my journey looks like from literally no tech background to now being a coach and also working in one of Australia's largest banks. I would love to get a sense from you both in the room as well. I know we've shared quite a lot in the last couple of minutes, but I wanted to find out from you both what you are really looking out to get out of today's webinar. So if you wanted to pop in the group chat for me, that'd be really good. Like, it could be to learn about opportunities in tech. It could be to work in a six-figure job. It could be to have a flexible time. Like, what does that look like for you? We would love to find out. So if
Yeah.
you just want to leave me a quick chat in the comment to say, hey, this is why I've joined today's webinar. I'm just here for awareness, or I just want to learn more. I'd really crave your indulgence if you both could do that for me. Thank you so much. Again, the mission is quite big for us in terms of what we do and how we have supported a lot of people here in Australia. Is there's a fluke, okay? And no matter how we want to romanticize it, it is still a problem. A lot of immigrants are stuck in jobs that make them unfulfilled. Like you see, even an accountant back in Nigeria coming to Australia and feeling like, I couldn't get into the senior roles that I'm deserving of. I have got over a decade of experience working in Nigeria. But here, I am not working on an entry-level job, which means low pay as well. And no one wants to do that. You see doctors, you see surgeons, you see people who are super skilled not working. Some people even had to take a pay cut or even like take a level cut, as I love to call it, meaning you're working in jobs below your skill level. So you just have to settle. And for us, because I've also been in that situation as well, where I have had to just work in jobs because I had to make money, I can barely understand what that can look like for people on the outside when you feel like, I actually don't genuinely, I don't love my job anymore, or my job is not giving me the right level of income that I believe I deserve based on my skill set. And if I think about my journey and what's looked like, it's quite similar to some of you guys in the room as well. Moving to Australia, it's all about, this is most immigrants work in a certain sector, which is the health sector. And oftentimes you see a good number of us say, I'm a youth worker, or I'm a disability support worker, I'm an aged care worker. As it is, whilst there's nothing wrong with this job, 100%, there are people who do feel like they can give a bit more if they were working in a different sector. There are people who feel like this current job, whilst it does pay their bill right now, it is not sustainable for them because there is no career trajectory. Like there's no progression in there. There's only so much you can move. And I was one of those people. I was working as a disability support worker while I was doing my university here in Australia. And even after, I was thinking, okay, I'm thinking about a life where I had children. I was thinking about a life where I was married. I was thinking about a life where I want to delve into like my full core, which is entrepreneurship, giving value. I've been called to serve people. That is my calling. So I was thinking about all of those lives when I feel like there's a lot of things that I can give to the world. There's a lot of problems that I can solve for companies. There's a lot of problems that I can solve for people genuinely that's going to make their life 10 times better. But I couldn't do it if I was stuck in this job, because the job does require a lot for you to make 6 figures working in that sector. Personally, my experience, you had to work 2 or 3 jobs. You had to leave your house every holidays, every Easter breaks, Christmas break, every of those holidays. I had to stack the hours. You would know if that's the current sector that you work in, you have to stack up the hours. And for me, it wasn't consistent with the life that I want. And that's probably where you're at right now, thinking the work or the job that you do right now is not consistent with the life that you'd imagine for yourself. I want you to know that there is a pathway. I want you to know that there's an opportunity. But more importantly, I don't want you to go through the hard routes that I went through. For me, it was quite difficult, even though I saw the light quite quickly, because I was lucky to have been in a relationship with this amazing man at that point in time, who was a tech guru, a project manager to the core, worked across multinational companies, telling me, hey, you have all of these skills. I'm like, what skills are you talking about? I'm only a disability support worker. Like, that's all I've ever known in this country. And he's like, yeah, I get it. But you speak really well. You have a lot of people around you. You literally can walk up to a stranger today and have a full-blown conversation with them. More importantly, you plan a wedding of more than 300 people and successfully executed it. And I'm like, yeah, but like, those are just my normal skills. Like, I'm very good with conflict resolution. I'm very good with talking to strangers and bringing people together. More importantly, I have very, very good eye for detail. I'm very detailed. The things that I do it well. If I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. Whatever I do it with perfection. When I plan weddings for like 200 or 300 guests, I plan it to T. From a catering perspective, because I used to also do catering at some point, and I would make sure all the guests were served. Every single person got really nice meals, good temperature, but not just nice, but very, very yummy meals and very organized. And that's something that was lacking in the Australian food industry at that point in time. I lived in Newcastle in Tasmania, and a lot of people, when they went to events, people would just bring like coolers. If you're Nigerian, you would know. People would just carry coolers. There was no nice setting. So I was that girl that would go to event and make sure everything was like nice, buffet style. Everything is tagged. Like for Australians, they know exactly the food not to touch. If it's pepper soup, I put a signal that I tell you that's very spicy. So please, I don't want to call 000. Don't take that. So those sort of precision, I was lucky that I had someone that was saying it and said, would you believe that these your normal skills, these your everyday skills that you think it's just the normal skills, organizations are paying upwards of $100,000, 120, 130,000. I'm like, that don't make sense. What do you mean? The fact that I'm able to resolve conflict, the fact that I'm able to talk to people easily, the fact that I'm able to organize an event, the fact that I'm able to go analytical on a situation, companies are paying for that. What does that even mean? And then we delved into the details. Originally, most things that you hear is most tech roles require coding, which is not true. So I got into this and I was like, well, how can I convert this money, these skills of mine, into actual money? It was very tough for me because there's a lot of things in there. I didn't have a structured environment to work, but I was very persistent. Why? Because I was sick of the job that I had at that point in time. And I even had to take a pay cut just to learn the Australian corporate culture. So I'd gone to work for the NDIS just so I could learn. But I don't want your journey to be as long and as hard as mine, which is why you're on this call today. And I'm going to be asking you guys a couple of questions. I will tell you exactly how I did it, the things that I do, the things that I have also streamlined and learned on the way, on how someone like me that studied professional accounting and human resource management is now working in tech. If you think about it more critically, I'm going to give you some seconds to think about them. There is no correlation. There's absolutely no correlation between an accountant and a senior business analyst working in IT and even out training people. There's no correlation there. So I want you to take a moment to think about that, to think about the things that I had to go through. Genuinely, it was a very, very hard thing to do, but I don't are already active, and there's a strategy in there that can make your journey a little bit easier. And I want us to do a little bit of an imagination right now. Imagine what your life would look like after you know that there are people like yourselves earning $130,000, $140,000 while working less time with more freedom. Generally, for me, this session is not a session to brag, it's a session to be completely honest. I earn more than 130 and 140K in this Australia. And not just me, a lot of people that I've coached as well, they earn more than that doing one job. That is not even up to what I was earning when I was doing 3 jobs across when I lived in New South Wales, when I lived in Tasmania. Not up to that. So I want you to take a second to imagine your life, knowing that there are people like yourself out there doing one job, 9 to 5. No one works 9 to 5, really. Let's just say 5 hours of job, right? And they're earning good money. And taking it a notch further and thinking about how nice would it be for you to be able to earn good money, like decent money, without having to do multiple jobs. How many of us have more than one job in the room? If you have more than a job on this call, please give me a shout out. Say you've worked more than one job. Just put it in the group chat. Guys, please talk to me. I want to know if you do more than one job today in the group chat. If it's a yes, if it's a no, I really would love to know. I have more than one job. Thank you, Chikwebuka, for indulging me. So, think about a life where you don't have to do multiple jobs. Think about a life where you decide, actually, today I don't feel like working, and you never feel like you're losing money. The reason I'm asking you, and the reason I know this, is because on Christmas Day, I used to be very sad if I didn't get work, because that's double rate, right? We all know that. We've probably been there before. That's double rate. Even the last Anzac Day, yesterday, I was at a birthday party, and they called this young boy and they said, "Oh, where's your dad?" And he's like, "It's not here," in his very strong Aussie accent. And the MC said, "Oh, why is that?" I said, "He's gone to work." And while that sounds fun, I had the moment that actually made me sad on one occasion. I do host event as well. And I was to host a birthday party for a 10-year-old young boy, really, really, really bright young boy. And the party was to start at 2 because I was hosting. I was there at 1 p.m. just to help them with things, organize things, and try and see what I could help with, organize the program. And I was wanting to plan with mommy and daddy. Okay, we're going to do this game. You are the parent of this 10-year-old young man. You're going to do this game. I need you both. To my shock, I'm hearing, well, daddy's going to be back at 2. I'm like, okay, that's when the event starts. And I was like, where is daddy? He said, daddy's gone to work. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, I'll wait for daddy. When he comes at 2, I'll give him the brief. 2, 2:10, 2:15, 2:30, daddy's not here. And I went to them and said, where's your husband? Like, I need him. He said, he's stuck at work. Just imagine a life where your child is waiting for you to attend. There's going to be lots of birthdays, no doubt, but there's not going to be another 10th or 15th or 20th birthday. What am I trying to say? I don't want that to be your story. I don't want you to be that parent that would have to miss because you want to provide. Because guess what? Money, those kids are not going to remember the money that you gave them. Children don't work like that. They're going to remember the time, the attention that you give to them. And Faith, thank you. Faith just said, I'm doing 3 jobs combined with agency work. I don't want this life when I get married. And I'm really so sorry to hear that, but that's the reality. Faith, you are me, or I was you at some point. And I even give you a buzzer. When I did my civil wedding, I forgot I had a shift the day after. And imagine you with your new husband. And my husband walks in high to say he didn't even really grab what everything I was saying. And I got a call, Toya, are you coming to work? I'm like, I'm sorry, which work? This was like 6:15. I was to start a 6 a.m. shift. And that was just another reminder, like, no. I do not want this life. So you definitely do not want this life. But for that to change, it's going to be the action that you take from this moment. And those are the things I'm going to be sharing with you, myself and Noah, in this call, which is why you guys need to stay till the end. Think about the 3 jobs combined. It's still not up to 130K. And that's insane to even think about it. It's a whole lot that happens in there. And we'll go into some of the problems and what causes that. But I tell you what, the life that you want, whether or not it is when you can get the life even before you get married, it's going to be up to you. So we're going to be talking exactly and give you a clear picture of everything that I had to do. But you won't just hear from me alone, because that's boring, isn't it? You're going to hear from people that have walked our path, people that have come across. I met some of them yesterday at the party, and it was so refreshing because they had time to actually attend an event on a public holiday. All of my friends were there. All of the people in my circle were there, not worrying, not caring about shift. We've been there all morning till evening. Why? Because we don't do shift, because we don't work shift. I work in a job that's going to pay me yesterday, even though I didn't work. Standard. That's where you need to get to. We're going to delve into the secret, and you're not going to get this anywhere. As robust as ChatGPT is, ChatGPT cannot even give you this because it doesn't have your context. It doesn't know your story. ChatGPT is not an immigrant. It's everybody. So what you're going to know at the end of this session, it's in 3 parts. You're going to learn exactly how your normal skills. Some of you guys, they call you, say, oh, I'm fighting with my friend, Faith, can you help me settle this quarrel? Some of you even plan baby showers for your friends. You execute it to T. Some of you, when it comes to visa applications, you're the researcher. You go into the details, tell your friend, no, don't apply for student visa. Apply for this visa. Those skills are gold. And you're leaving money on the table every single time you're using them somewhere else. Absolutely using them and putting money on the table when you're using it somewhere else. So today you're going to learn how simple skills such as the way you communicate, the way you manage conflict, your personable and warm personality, how you can turn that into getting a 6-figure job. Genuinely. And how even spending your time to learn these skills. Literally, all you need is you're going to just be needing to sacrifice 3 hours of your time on a Thursday, 3 hours on a Friday, cumulatively 6 hours. It's not even up to the hours that you spend watching 3 Netflix movies, if you want to be completely honest. And some of you watch Netflix movies every single day. I don't have the time, too busy reading. Right? So, I mean, it's not bad. It's just not my calling. But some of you guys are ready to that. So it wouldn't hurt to spend that sort of time to learn exactly how you can stop working multiple jobs. No one should have to work multiple jobs to make money. It's not healthy. We have normalized this so much that it drives me nuts sometimes when I think about it, but it is not healthy. But more importantly, when you have the skills, when you've learned everything that you need to do, what exactly then do you need for you to become the gold candidate when you talk to hiring managers? Similar to a good number of you guys on this call, some of you guys never done care before, but when you move to Australia, people pitch it to you, no experience, but you go to interview and you speak to them and you say, yeah, I got the experience. You say it in a way that's convincing, right? So why is tech different? When you know what to say and you know how to say it, you're going to be the gold candidate. So you need to stick around and stay with us while we share all of these secrets with you. And we're going to start by demystifying some things that you may or may not have heard. A lot of people say, oh, I was on a call with this lady quite recently. I think that was last week, Thursday. And she was like, yeah, well, Taya, I've been thinking about tech and I'm not too sure, I'm a single mom and I work in disability, but I keep hearing that tech is saturated and there's a lot of people doing it now. So I don't think I'm going to get a job. Says who? Then I asked her, show me the research, because I work with facts and figures. This is not an emotional conversation. This is, what is the stats saying? I say, exactly, show me exactly which stat says this and how that reduces your chances. She's like, well, not really, just a lot of people saying all of these things. That's not substantive. It's like you go to court and you say, I think this person killed my parent. Well, that's morbid, but let's do something else. I think this person stole my money. And they ask you, what's the evidence? Well, I have no evidence. I just think so. They're going to look at you like, is this a joke? Right? So tech is saturated. That is false. And I'm going to go and show us some stats as we do this, because let's go the numbers. Let's do the numbers. Guys, I need you to go on seek.com.au. I'm going to pop the URL. Seek.com.au, right? Just type in business analyst. It's a very practical exercise that we can all do. Type in business analyst job and find and see the number of jobs that pop up. That's going to be the answer to your question. Type in business analyst job and tell me what you can find. If you want to take it a step further, go to Indeed. There's lots of opportunities in there on Seek. I have the privilege to talk to hiring managers. So they tell me exactly, I will tell you, I've been trying to fill this role for the last 2 weeks. I've been trying to fill this role for the last 3 weeks. Yes, those things happen. And when you get more than 7,000 jobs popping up on one role, and business analyst is not even the only tech role. There's Scrum Master, there's Project Manager, there's QA Tester. And someone says, oh, it's saturated. Guys, leave me a comment. Out of 7,000 jobs, how many do you need? How many? You only need one. You only need one good job to give you an offer. I need one. And if you're lucky, get a big, robust one, 160K. Boom. And you may not notice. I've been privileged to have this, and a lot of our students have been privileged to have this. There's something in Australia that most organizations do. They call it your performance bonus.
Yeah.
Because you were exceptional, you could get upwards of $10,000 additional on your pay. Not $1 like they had to you in the other sector. They had you $1 every 2 years. You can get, there was one of our students, Rachel, you'll probably see one of her testimony. She got $5,000, all because she did a good job within the financial year, all because she added value. You want to be in an organization that pays you for the value that you give them, not the time that you spend at work. So I work in a bank. They don't care if Tayo spends 8 hours on the laptop. They only care if Tayo delivers the project. And whatever hours I want to deliver the project, you deliver. That's what they care about. Thank you, Faith. 1,106 jobs in Brisbane. Only.
That's Brisbane.
Only. That's only Brisbane. So guys, we work with facts and figures. I do this, we live and breathe this every now and then. What are your odds? Really, like what are the odds that you get one outside of this? But of course, you cannot get it if you don't have the skills. So being completely honest as well and chucking that out there. And even moving to, what does the Tech Council in Australia say? We've done Seek, right? We've done Seek. Let's look at the figures and let us look at the market. Because if you know about every country is driven by some certain sectors, health being one of them, tech being one of them, mining being one of them, education being one of them. All of those sectors contribute to the growth of every particular country. If you lack skilled workers in some areas, then you can see that they will diminish. That's why Australian government will say, we want skilled workers in. We're going to sponsor you from Nigeria. You're a software developer, come. You're a business analyst, we need you, come. They will pay you to come into the country. If you're lucky, you get a company that even pays for everything because they need you and they can't find it locally. Now, Tech Council, do a quick exercise on Google. Tech Council says, as of today, there's just about 3% of African immigrants in tech. I'll give you one practical. So I work in a bank, there's more than 2,000 people in them. I've seen so far so good. I've seen only myself as the female Nigerian, female African working in that bank. I have seen one Ghanaian, a man, and I've seen another person from Zimbabwe, but he is even like IT support. He's not even like main. Do you guys understand how insane that is? When I was working with an energy company here in Melbourne rather, Noah was the only Nigerian, dare I say, the only African in an energy company in Melbourne. And we know this because because of the skills that we have, we are often in like senior roles. So we have a lot of people that work with us, that work collaboratively with us. So we have the figures, we have the facts, and we have access to broader information on the company. So that's to tell you that the Australian culture, they also want to embrace diversity. They want people that look like you and I. But that won't come very easily if you don't put yourself out there. One. Secondly, it won't also come easily if you're not skilled. They're not going to pity you just because you're Black. That doesn't happen. And you're not going to get the respect. Also remember, you will need to work twice as hard to get respected. It is what it is. Whether or not you want to believe it, whether it is fair or not, that's not the issue. It's the truth. So you need to have the skills and you need to be able to display that, hey guys, I am the best person for this job. Forget the color, forget the accent or whatnot. You're going to be insane not to give me the job. Those are the type of confidence that you get when you work with us. You start to see yourselves in room that seem impossible. And one last one I'm going to show you guys. If you look on your left-hand side, rather, the number says that we were looking to hire 1.2 million tech workers by 2030. I didn't say it. This is Tech Council Australia. They have a strong appetite to ensure that by 2030, we would have 1.2 million tech workers. It makes sense for the economy because every tech-related activity, if we have this number, we can contribute at least 250 billion to GDP from a tech perspective. That's crazy when you think about it. So they need you and I. They need you. They need Faith. They need Chikwebuka. They need Lynette. Like they need you guys on call. The question is, are you going to position yourself for the offer? It's like someone saying, hey, take the candy, take the candy. The candy is here. The candy is in the basket. Go and take it. But you don't have your shoes because there's glass on the floor. You're not wearing your shoes to protect yourself. How are you protecting yourself? How are you doing that? And Noah particularly loves this slide because he's very big on women empowerment. But
yeah, thank you, Tayo. So, Tayo, thank you. That was wonderful. Right? So I'm very particular about making sure that there's more women inclusivity. Like I remember like our first two cohorts, it was more dominated by men.
yeah,
I was saying to Tayo, like, what are we gonna do to involve more women? Especially because I've seen it firsthand, right? My wife was pregnant, she lost her income effectively, right? So she lost her income. I've seen so many people that eventually came into our world, right? They're like, oh yeah, so I'm finishing work now because I need to have my baby, and I'm just thinking the next 3, 6, 9 months of maternity leave, what am I going to be doing? Right? So I'm thinking about, okay, maybe I should explore a career. We see those kind of conversation every now and then because sometimes people don't actually think about, okay, I'm making money here, I'm making money now, but what if I have a major life update? What happens? Does my income stop? You don't think about these things. You can work 3, 4 jobs. Some of you have more than one job we've established today. And then when maybe you want to travel overseas, you see that, I don't have money. Sometimes some people don't want to travel because they're like, I'm going to miss out on all this shit. I'm not going to get money when I travel. So I need to plan better. And they see that they don't actually then find ways to travel. They just get stuck working around the clock. But on the focus of women, this report is fresh. It was like last month in March. RMIT, I'm sure most of you would know RMIT, right? Australia, basically released this report. They want more women in tech. I'm not the one saying, you can see it here, RMIT online. They want more women to be involved in tech, to diversify that industry. And why would that make sense? Because once they want 100,000 women before 2030. Right? If they do that, it's going to increase, you can see here, it's going to increase the opportunities and increase the GDP by $65 billion. So everything is always about, the bottom line at the end of the day. So they don't just release these reports if they've not done like accurate or like very deep research. So effectively, there are more opportunities for women more than ever. Organizations, government, experts are recognizing that now we need to add more women to it, because women go through a lot. Like I'm saying, there's no support for when they are on maternity. How did they transition back to work safely? Some of them during maternity leave, they lose their job. They are not supported well. Women go through a lot, looking after the family, looking after the children. There's a lot. But the good news is that an opportunity, but we've got to position ourselves, especially for us as African, right? So I am super passionate about this. I always want to, any woman we come or like we come in contact with, I like say, yeah, this is my sister. We want to like encourage you to take the opportunity, because there's a lot of data to support it for you. And throughout the years, we've seen new moms, we've seen people, come into our space, learn, and then they are in brilliant careers. Like we've seen Lola, Rachel, so many people, right? That have changed their life. They now have more time to spend with family, take their children out to parks without worrying about money. Right? I'm not saying they are billionaires, but doing a job that gives them, they are not, money is not like the first thing. They're living, they are being there for their family. And that is super important. So we're going to talk about now that you've seen the opportunity, because we can't just say, hey, come and learn how to turn your everyday skills into opportunities in tech without, degree, prior experience, all of that, if there are no opportunities. And that's why it's important to break that myth that are there really opportunities in tech? And we've shown you, you've seen on Seek, you've seen it everywhere, you've seen the research data as well, right? There are opportunities. Now, if you believe that there are opportunities, the next question and the secret we want to review is, how can you use the skills you already have today and turn that into potentially a six-figure career? We look at, the average salary in our community, people that have gone through our program, it is $120,000. And like Tyra said, you just work one job. Sometimes you do a 15-minute meeting and that's it for the day. Sometimes it's 8 hours work, sometimes 5 hours, sometimes 2 hours. Sometimes you're working on your couch, sometimes you're working at home, sometimes you go to your office, sometimes you're working on the beach, sometimes you're traveling interstate, you're working. Like there's so much flexibility and freedom. The work is not tying you down to a room, like I must go to that place and work. I must go to that room until I look after this person, like that's when I get paid. No, right? It's just like a barber. Think about any job where you're just tied to is tied to your time. Like a barber cutting hair, for example, right? Imagine if they don't, for example, in my own personal experience, I have a barber and I'm loyal to the barber. I'm sure a lot of men would be as well. Like you can pop in the chat if you agree with this. Like so I have, he's my favorite barber. When I go there and I don't see him, I'm sad. Sometimes I joke with my wife, like, so we need to add my barber to prayer point because I don't want him to be sick. Like I really like the way he, cuts my hair. I feel good. So the days where he's not there, I'm sad. Like, oh God, I don't want anybody else to to barb my hair. So I probably just come back. It happened yesterday. Like, okay, yesterday was public holiday. It's happened a few times. But the danger there is, yeah, whilst I love that barber, every time he takes a, we have chit chat, small chit chat when I'm cutting my. Anytime he travels, he loses income. So he's trying to put system in place where he can get people, to come and do the same quality of work. But people like me exist where if we don't see him, what happens? We don't cut our hair. We want to wait for him, right? So he loses income. At worst case, if he doesn't even find someone to come and do the job, that means he has to close the shop. That's the danger in those type of job where you're kind of like the job. It's your time. You're trading your time for money. As if you look around, so many of our job today, right? Maybe some of you here, you tell me if you're in that situation. It's tied to you trading your time for money. You have to go for that shift. You have to go to, to that work. And we want to switch that to value based. Value based means that it's not a function of your time, like Tyler has explained. It's not about you spending 8 hours glued to your laptop or glued to one office. You can deliver value and still make money. Public holiday, you still make money, right? Look at some of the people that have turned their everyday skills into tech career, right? Or some of them are also still in the journey as well. And that's why we hear people say, wow, Sync skills has changed my life. When you go and turn that skills into 6-figure career and you're thriving, you say, Sync skills, I'm glad I joined this program, right? The other day, 2 days ago, I was looking at some of the reviews on Google. Some of our students posted, and I'm like, wow, I'll never stop this. This is why we do this. Like, I came into this program not having belief, just trying to see but I have learned things that I never imagined. I've learned things about myself. Wow, I've changed my life. I've gotten a job that has changed my family life and giving me more flexibility. Like, it's incredible. And I'm like, wow. So sometimes when I'm sad now, I just go to that reviews and remind myself, like, wow, this is it. This is the reason. So it is important that we have that belief first. You can turn it. How do you turn the skills? What skills are we talking about in everyday, skills? Tayo shared with you. Tayo was literally doing catering job, right? And I think you've seen the picture earlier here. So Tayo was literally, cooking, and this process very exhausting. Look at some meals, event, planning, all of that. She did support work here as well. Work in warehouse for a while, even though she's on a petite side. And that's exhausting, right? So how do you turn this type of skills into 6-figure career? She shared not only that she works in a bank and the quality of the people that she now works with, right, are elevated. She's talking to CEOs, CTOs, amazing people, professionals, like, and it's great. Not only that, she's also coaching, change people's life, and you can do it too. What is your calling? Your calling is not just to come and work. Your God's ordained gift is not just, can you imagine? Think about it. It's not just that you came to this world. God gave you a skill, and the skill is to do the job right now and to just do it. And if the skill, the thing you're doing now is just about, oh, I want to pay my bills, you need to rethink it. God did not send you to this world, and the only thing you want, like God gave you gifts to come and do, is to come and survive, right? Like, pay the bills. You have special gift, every single one of you. Like I said earlier in my intro, I discovered my calling. My calling is not tech, it's not to write code, it's not to build product. It's to impact knowledge, it's to show people what is possible and change their life. Some of you have so many gifts. I don't know what it is, but I've seen so many people that have come through, they're like, wow, so I have passion for painting, I have passion for art, I have passion for coaching, I have passion for helping people organize things, I have passion for inspiring small children, I have passion for, I didn't even think about all of these things because I've been going burnout, going from one shift to another. But you all have gifts. This country cannot be that I came here and the gift I want to use is just to get job, get paycheck to paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. That is not it. But we get it. If you don't have a mechanism to survive, you can't sleep outside. If you don't have that sorted, you can't then tap into what is my calling, what is genuinely my calling. And that's why we're saying your everyday skills. Some of you have great communication skills. Maybe you're a pastor in the make, maybe you're a motivational speaker, maybe you're somebody that will teach people a particular thing that you're good at, or you're going to impact people and give them belief, or you're a problem solver. When people have conflict, you're the one they call. Hey, Akim, see, I need your thought and advice on this thing. Dude, that's problem solving skills. Leadership as well. Maybe in church, maybe in your social gathering, you're the one people turn to for advice because you got so much wisdom. Maybe you're a team player, like you rally with people to solve problems. Maybe you're adaptable to situation. All of us, we've moved from one country to another and we're figuring it out. We're doing amazingly well. Right? But you need to tap into your purpose. What is your calling? Your calling should not be that you just do job. Like I'm just burnt out because I'm doing 2, 3 jobs, and yeah, because of family, because of bills, because I'm just doing it because I need to pay and make money. Financial wealth is not the only type of wealth. There's relationship, there's your health to worry about. There are relationship, health, financials, and a lot more. There are 2 more. It's not coming to my head now, right? But it's important for you to find your voice and know your calling. Communication. You all have a varying level of communication. That is similar to the job. If you're a project manager or business analyst, you use communication to engage people, to collect requirement, or to organize things. Think about an event planner, for example. An event planner communicates with the guests, to communicate with the celebrant, right? To organize the event, etc. There's a lot in there. Problem solving, as I've discussed, leadership, all of these things are the things that are needed on the job. In fact, HRs, they will tell you they hire for attitude, right? Because you can learn technical skills. Soft skills is so important. You can't teach somebody, basically to, like, soft skills, you can help people improve their soft skills, but you can't teach people, this is how to smile more. This is how to do this more. Like, you can't, it has to just be something people have, interpersonal skills, all of those things. It's harder to tell people how to smile more, how to be more warm, how to be likable. Like, how do you, like, you can give them pointers, but it's harder than to teach people, okay, this is how to solve 2 plus 2 4. This is how to use this tool. This is how to engage, like, with a document or whatever, right? So people, they are hired for their soft skills more than even their technical skills. So you can definitely turn it, but the first step is, no, you need to audit the skills that you have, like we mentioned, communication, all of these skills, and you need to audit your experience. You see, so many people, they come, when we tell them that your support work experience, the support work, personal youth work, warehouse work, accounting, social work, whatever work, doctor, lawyer, surgeon, all those skills are skills and experience that you can transition into tech, right? They are the same skills that people are leveraging in tech. They don't believe it at first. They don't actually believe it, right? So, for example, I give you a story. There's a nurse that came like on board, and it was like having this barrier, like, yeah, I'm really committed to doing this and going on that journey to learn more, develop my skills, but how, as a nurse, how will I be able to? I don't know anything about tech. In fact, he has this testimony, by the way. Like, I don't know. I'm so like even phone and everything is hard for me. Like, how do I even learn all of them? Like, yeah, that's fine. We went on the journey and helped him map all these skills that he has. You know, we showed him some jobs on Seek, for example, like aged care work, aged care job. He had done some aged care work. He had supported them as a nurse, and they are looking. Coincidentally, there are some jobs that they are looking for business analysts that have aged care experience, support care, personal care experience. And like, look at this job, for example. They want people that are expert in support care, aged care, disability support work, etc. You have all of this experience. You learn new things in business analysis. And that was the journey of how he, as a nurse, he now works in an aged care company as a business analyst. So he's still leveraging his skills as a nurse because the company is focused on aged care. They are providing solutions for people with disability. And I always told him that no perfect person for you. Immediately I saw that job interview description, like the job description, I was like, no, Okpe, there's even me with all my experience, I don't have as much. I'm not the perfect candidate for this job. You are, because I don't have disability support aged care experience. I've never worked in the industry. So in every industry, if you go on Seek right now, type, whatever, business analyst, and check the classification, you will see that there's business analyst, there's project management in all industry, whether aged care, whether accounting, banking, transportation, government, all of that. So whatever your experience is, you can still transition that into tech roles. Your experience is everything for you. It's a leverage, but it now depends, how do I want to use it? Then the next step for you is how I need to identify the gaps that I have. We've talked about first one, you identify your soft skills. Second one, you identify the experience you have. Third one, the gaps. Well, okay, what are the gaps that I have that I need to close to be able to function in tech? Right? So you learn the fundamental skills specific to that role. Like now, in case of Okpe, he then went on a journey and developed capacity in business analyst, project management, scrum master, right? And also gain more experience in that role. And then after that, he was confident to be able to go for interviews and crush it, So, and then to do that, the last step is you need to then develop strategy on how do you develop the skills that you've identified as a gap. So you develop that skills, gain relevant experience in that space. So for example, if you've identified the gap, I need to learn the fundamentals of what makes me a good business analyst, but I want to leverage my already existing skills and experience. So it's the gaps now. I want to close that gap. So am I going to take a course in training? Am I going to watch endless YouTube videos? Or I want to go through a proven program that has training, videos, advice, templates, support, mentor, and everything that I need to be able to change my life. So, and how am I going to get hands-on practical experience? Because experience is everything based on the gaps I've identified. Does that make sense, guys? Can you pop in the chat? Are you getting this? Like, does this make sense? Please, I would really like to get your feedback. Are we getting this? Yes, thanks, Hakim. Hakim says yes. Faith, Lynette, are we together? Is this making sense? Yeah, more feedback. Right. Okay, great. Right, looks like I'm talking about you, Faith. Yeah, exactly. This is the journey, right? This is how you definitely, and you can see more people that have gone through our program as well and have gone to change their life. I tell you, this is the step by step of how first you turn your everyday skills. But the question is now, how many of you have previously attempted to transition to tech? Like you've tried, you've been thinking about it.
You've done something in the past, maybe taken a course, or you've done like Udemy, or maybe just gone on YouTube. Have you guys attempted that before? If you have, let us know. I'll be keen to hear what that looks like for you. And as I wait for your responses, please let me know if it's a yes for you. YouTube and Coursera. Okay. Faith, let's take that a step further. Tell me, what was your experience with that? Like, what were the challenges you faced with that? Because I'm assuming you're still on that journey of trying to transition to tech. So what's been the stumbling block for you? Because the reason we ask these questions is we want to ensure that you get the utmost value out of every single session that you ever meet myself and Noam, and want to tailor things to your needs. Like, what is your experience? All right, Chukwuebuka says, I have attempted that to register with NIIT,
Yeah.
but the fee was much back then in Nigeria. So financial constraint. Okay, great, amazing. Thank you both for sharing. Appreciate your vulnerability. It's very important for us because we want to get a sense of where everyone is. All right, let me ask you one more question, guys. Now you previously transitioned to tech. So how many of you believe that you do need prior experience in tech to secure a job? If you think that, yes, it is absolutely impossible for me to get this job because IT is not, I've not done that before, maybe in Nigeria or in Kenya or whatever. Please, I want to know as well what our thought process is about this. Like, do you believe that you need prior experience in tech for you to secure a job? Or is that something that you feel like you can pick on the way? Like, do you think it's absolutely impossible? Just a yes or no. Akeem, Lynette, Faith, Chukwuebuka, I want to hear from you guys. All right, Akeem says, I tried Power BI on YouTube, but it will be good for my career progression. However, it was kind of difficult since I don't have the basis. Yeah, that's a very dangerous move, Akim. Very, very dangerous, especially when you're going, it's like, YouTube has got a pool of resources. And I know that, Akim, because I kind of faced that as well at some point before I started to get into something a bit structured, because I was so tired of working in the job that I was doing. I was thinking, what else to do? I tried a lot of things, read different things, but when you're pinching materials, you read this one, you read that one, you read that one, it's hard. For something you don't know where A is, or you don't know where J is. For what it was, you might be starting from T. And there's a reason why there needs to be a foundation, right? So that I can definitely resonate with what you've just said. And how many of you believe that you need IT degree to pivot into tech? I need to go to university before I can get a job in tech. I want to see your hand if you believe that. Okay, and the net says no. All right, no. All right, amazing. Good. I like what our mind is saying and where we're at right now. After working in aged care, I basically we don't need prior. Yeah, thank you. I love that perspective. And I did share that earlier as well. A lot of us have done jobs that we've never done before, but we're thriving. Why? Because you had to. Tech is no different. When you know the skills, you work in an environment where you're being supported, you're not starting from T. When you're meant to start from A, you're going to be good to go. So you can reduce or remove that and start to think about, there's nothing like wrong with my confidence on this because I can do the job. Okay, Chukwuebuka, I'm going to take this last one. I never believed that I can enter tech without a tech background. In fact, I never knew there was something like no code in tech. So when did you realize that, Chukwuebuka, tell me? When did you realize that this was possible? At what point? Or where or when did you realize that it was possible for you to pivot into tech? Because yours truly, is a living witness. No code tech roles, meaning tech roles that do not require programming skills. So you don't need to be coding like we call the developers, right? They write the codes and do the job. But guess what? The developers cannot work without me because they need me to tell them what to do. I can't write their code, they cannot do my job. So companies need the two of us, right? And that's the beautiful thing. I work in a role where I use my words. I use my English language. It's not even perfect, right? I use my English language to get things done. And the developers will go ahead and write the code and do it in their own language. Okay, cool, amazing. Oh, Chukwuebuka, really? Yeah, that's a pleasure to know that realized that from your contact with SyncSkills. Thank you for acknowledging that. Thank you. So the reason I decided to ask us all of these questions is because they are not required. You do not need to have coding skills. You do not need to have had prior experience in tech. You do not need to have prior degree in tech. All you need is to dedicate 3 months of your time to learning and relearning. And you guys, you know the beautiful thing about Australia? Oh my God. And you would never hear this anywhere. Is because Australia actually love people that have dynamic experience.
Yeah.
I worked in a bank today and I recall there was this lady. She was like, "Oh, Tay, I'm going back to school. I'm changing career." I said, "Oh, what are you going for?" She said, "I've always had a knack for physiotherapy because my grandfather has got XYZ, so she wants to be able to care for him." And that was something that was fully applauded. I've seen people working in teller in the bank come into like the corporate side of things, the IT, the software development side of IT. Australia wants, like, people change careers all the time. It is not a big deal. We Africans make it look like we're fraudulent or we're doing something bad. No, it is incorrect. Western people change careers all the time. They even say with so much pride, like, "Oh, I used to work as this before, but I decided this is where my skills lie. This is where I have strong skill set, and I'm going to learn." And they give them an opportunity. They're stopping you today. And a lot of people throw this myth around. "Oh, AI is going to take all of our jobs." AI is only going to take the jobs of people that don't know how to use AI. AI cannot take your job as an analyst. So we just need to be very clear. Artificial intelligence is to complement humans. It's not to eradicate humans, because it truly cannot. That is simply not possible. AI still cannot think like us. It's trying, but it cannot think like us. Organizations just need someone who can use artificial intelligence. Otherwise, they will swap you with someone that can use it properly and make their processes easier and make their life easier. So that is not true. I'm breaking all of these things for us so we get it. Some people even throw this big claim: immigrants don't work in corporate. You can never find immigrants work in corporate. Like, come on, who are you people moving with? Like, why are you people working with? Those things are not true. And again, that's why I know I was saying earlier on, you need to audit. Auditing is good. As you audit your soft skills, audit your friends as well. You need to audit your circle. If you're moving with people that are working in the job that you're trying to leave, it's not helping. So that's why you need to network. You need to join sessions like this. And by the way, if you're in Brisbane, we have a physical session on the 17th of May. You're going to meet amazing African immigrants here in Australia, working in insurance company, working in the bank, working in the health sector, like doing really, really fantastic, brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. You're going to meet African immigrants who sit at the core of hiring for top insurance companies as well. These things are not, it's the people that you move with that is making you feel like it is impossible to get a professional job as an immigrant in Australia. Your skills, when you have skills, they won't have a choice than to hire you. When you have what they're looking for, they won't have a choice than to hire you. The old Department of Education in Melbourne bent their rule for me, something they never done before. For you to work with them, you need to be living in Melbourne. But when they wanted to hire me, I lived in Tasmania. And they said one thing that is very profound. Say, would be insane not to hire you. So we're going to allow you work from Tasmania. I never stepped foot into Melbourne. And that is something that skills can do. I am not even Australian. Hell, I don't even have Australian citizenship. So I don't even have Australian citizenship. So it's not, so don't be thinking and get ahead of yourself thinking, "Oh, maybe because she's PR." No, I'm not. So it's only one thing that I have that no one can take from me. It's the skills. And now I was just sharing a slide the other time. I want us to please take some seconds to look at this, to tell you that it is an absolute fallacy that African immigrants don't work in tech. These are different job offers. If I could fit in all of the job offers on this slide, I would, but I cannot. So I'm going to show you some of the freshest ones. You can see that's a message from Oluwaseun. You guys will meet him if you're lucky and you're in Brisbane and you attend the event on the 17th of May. Oluwaseun is going to be present as well. He's going to share. These are real people. He used to be an accountant. Now he works as a business analyst. He said it himself in a video, which I'm going to play for us. Now I earn twice than I earned before, just because he attended a session like this, just because he dedicated 3 months of his life to learning. And boom, instantly, it changed his career. That could be you. These are different job offers. Different job offers. On the left-hand side, it's unfortunate that it's not okay. Okay, so if you can zoom in, you would see this was an African immigrant at 12 a.m. sent us an email and said, I am tired of doing disability jobs. I remember my heart broke a little when I saw his message that night, 12 a.m. The time is there, timestamp. Zoom in, you would see 12 a.m. And I said, God, please help me to help this guy. And we walked with him. Guys, when you encounter us, you may not even work in tech, but you will get your dream outcome. He wanted to work a professional job. It was either tech or he got a job as an accountant. So he wanted to build his interview skills. Today, I'm pleased to tell you, this guy not only got a 6-figure job, but he also got a vehicle, an official car. It's in Nigeria that I know that companies give you cars as their employee. This man got a car. He called and he was crying on the phone. It's like, I don't know how to pay you guys. How much did I even pay for this program? That my life has changed drastically. He was crying, a grown man. So guys, please don't be deceived that African immigrant, those things are not true. Those are words of ignorant people. So please don't get lost in the bubble. So the reason people say that it's impossible is probably because no one has shown them the way. I mean, if you work in the circle of people that are doing XYZ job, that's only what you know. That is only what you know. So please, the right system is what we're telling you today. I have used it. Oluwaseun has used it. Emmanuel has used it. Rachel has used it. Some of the people in the contract that Noah just shared, they've used it. But for you to get those things, there's a kicker in there. There are 3 things that you need to master. I'm going to share those 3 things, and Noah is going to support us. But really, I want you to know that you do not have to work multiple jobs for long hours for you to make 100K per year. You do not need that. It's all false. You only need 1 job. But there's a framework. We're going to quickly gloss through it. To be honest, I wish I had all the time to talk you guys through all of this amazing stuff. But it is hard. If you look at the screen right now, there's something that might be disturbing to you on the screen. And I want you to quickly read, guys. Please read it. It says, hey, everyone, this was, by the way, in Noah's community. Noah lives in Flagstone, Queensland. And in this community group, someone shared this. They said they were looking for a house sitter to help them look after their dogs, their cat, and 2 snakes. Guys, please let me know, is that normal for you, or do you find it shocking? Because I was going off my head when I saw this. Is that a normal ask that someone, I know people ask you to babysit, but has anyone ever asked you to babysit their snakes, guys? All right, Chikwebuka said it's shocking. Exactly. Hell no too. I would say that too. Hell no, I'm not coming. Hey, I'm not even going to look after your dogs because they scare me. I mean, I love them from afar, but they scare me. But what about if we take away the humor part of this? It just tells you that this is their reality. This is all they've known. Look at people saying volunteering. Hey, I'll be happy. Hey, I'll be happy. Like people literally saying I'll be happy. Only one person said, I'll take it after you feed those snakes. You only have 2 dogs and 1 cat to look after, because they're even also going off their mind. Right, guys? So you're in an environment where there's going to be a lot of things coming off your way. You're either going to be shocked at it or it's going to be normal. But one thing is you can't settle. You need to create your own path. So for us, we have a framework which we've created, and I've got something that I would try and get you guys, and I'm going to absolutely need your permission to do that. But no, I want you to talk us through the framework, and I'm going to ask the guys to give me permission to do something that I've really prepared for them today.
Yeah, so basically, like she said, and looking at, we all laughed and we all said, "Wow, this is a shocker." Looking at that experience because it was a shocker for me as well, and that got me thinking. Like we face so many shocks as immigrants when we come into this country. Now, if we narrow it down, zoom in into career, we've talked about all of those myths. You can't blame all those people that have those false beliefs. Those people that say, "Oh, you can't get a job, it's tough, it's impossible. I tried so I tried several." You can't blame them. That's their experience. And that's because they don't actually have the right system. There are so many things that we do, for example, in Africa, that if you do the same thing the same way here, you will just be stuck. For example, I came here with 10 years experience in tech, and then just to summarize the story, I literally struggled to get an interview.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? Like, I came here with that even like 10 years in tech. Then Australia is not as big as some countries that I've worked in, US, Europe, Nigeria. So how would I be struggling to get a job? I didn't even get a phone call until
Yeah.
I start some things. Secondly, there are some things around how you present yourself, how you market your skills that are super important. The way we answer question in interviews back home is
Mhm.
different from what they want here. Like just the analogy is a total different thing. And if you are interviewing the same way, answering questions the same way, monologue, very technical. I lost three $140,000 job
Yeah.
doing the same mistakes. In fact, there was one, I got to the final stage. They called me to do the interview again for another role. They knew I was so technical, but they were like, "Okay, we have another role. We want you to interview again." But there are some things that I finally learned that this way I'm interviewing, I'm just never going to convince them
Yeah.
beyond reasonable doubt. So I want you to pop in the chat. How many of you have gone to an interview before? Maybe you were trying to get to your actual career, and they're like, "Unfortunately, you know, we found another person that was more closely aligned with the experience or the skill set or culture thing or what." How many of you have gotten all of that? Or how many of you have even gotten interview, first of all? All right? Pop in the chat. Have we got any of such experience where we found it difficult to even get phone interview or real interview?
So
Or
even invite you for an interview. I mean, like Noah, you would know because even your name was a stumbling block at some point. Recruiters, so Noah's first name, if you don't know, Noah is Yoruba, by the way, and his first name is Oluwagbenga, which is quite long if you think about it. And you would not believe that even with Noah's nearly a decade of experience at that point in time, working with top companies like HP, working with InterSwitch, recruiters were not calling him back. Why? Because of his name, because they didn't want to offend him. They didn't want him to feel like, "Oh, I'm going to murder your name if I have to pronounce it." So they move on to someone else, whether you like it or not. It's real. Is it fair? Maybe, maybe not, but that's not the case. It is real. So simple things such as your name, such as recruiters not wanting to be insensitive, for lack of a better word. Some of them, it's from a place of also, I don't want to offend Chukwuebuka by calling him and like murdering his name, and then I have to apologize. I'll just go to someone else, and
yeah,
that's it. And those things are real. They're
really
real.
important you master that, right? So things like your name, even Chukwuebuka, if you faced that issue before, right? I would maybe you use Ebuka for
Yeah,
your,
but that's shorter.
right? Yeah, sorry, we can't progress. Sometimes they don't get back. Several interviews, trust me. Now, that is not just a function of name, guys. We're just sharing one bit of things, the minor details that can really alter your chances, even when you've done the other things well. So we're gonna quickly talk about the framework. So I kind of like show you, right? So some people feel like first, I have to work multiple jobs for long hours to make, 100,000. That Probably some of you are in that bracket right now. You have to do three jobs, two jobs to make $100,000 per year. We want to show you that there's more you can do. So we want to introduce you to uh, what we call SEM framework, and it's called that because of how it is structured. So this is a three-part framework that helps you build the skills. Remember how we talked about the first secret, how you can turn your everyday skills, right? That skills you need to develop is so important, right? Because think about it. If you want to hire somebody to do something for you, they must have the skills to do it. Just like if you go to a doctor now, maybe they say, "Oh, yeah, sorry, I was previously a carpenter. I just started working as a doctor today." You will definitely run away for your life because you don't want to take that risk. Somebody that just started as a doctor that particular day was previously a carpenter. You will run away like, I'm not playing with my life, right? So translate that. If you want to get a job that gives you convenience, the first thing employer look out for is the skills. The second thing in the framework is the experience. You must have demonstration of applied skills. So basically, how many times have you done this thing? So for example, a surgeon, imagine, I like to use it because like I know people will say, ah, no, 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 I don't want this. Like imagine somebody wanted to, have a surgery, maybe a minor surgery. And you go there, the surgeon is doing that initial, just setting your mindset and everything. And the doctor says, well, this is my first time doing this, right? What is going to be our reaction? Are we going to be comfortable? Or they now say, well, you have the option to go with me, or there's somebody else that you can also consult, but he has done it 100 times over and over. So it's like a master in that thing.
Yeah.
Think about it. Who are you going to go with? Right? Who are we going to go with? I want to get your feedback. Yes or no? Are you going to go with the first one without experience, or you're going to go with somebody that's gone, right? Gonna jump off the bed with no gonna jump off. Yeah, you're gonna run like, sorry, please, I'm
I
gonna
don't want to be treated by you.
play with my life, eh? The experienced guy. I know it's mind blowing when I say we're not gonna be sick, but that is the way the employers look at these things. And it is funny because some people say, oh, I just want to learn this thing and I want to play it safe and go and get entry level jobs. So that now, I know I don't have experience in this thing. So I want to start, I don't mind starting from entry level. We frown on that
Yeah.
for a couple of reasons. Entry level job is very saturated because if you look at an organization want to move forward, so they need people that are skilled and have experience. They keep entry level roles, maybe a few slots for entry level roles, so they can just develop new people. So the roles are limited, plus freshers, newbies, everybody also are looking for those entry level roles. Now, you have done things in your life, you've gone to study master, maybe you have work experience before. Now, you want to go and be fighting for entry level roles again for a limited spot. You see the problem? But more importantly, how much can entry level roles are paid the least and have the most work because they are like the people they send to do your learning, like so you're gonna be sent everywhere, basically. Right? So effectively, we don't want to position you to be the errand boy, errand girl on the job, more or less.
Nah.
And then you earn less. And then what happens, we come back to the cycle of what we want to break you out from. Because now you have to come and do more shift to complement it. So you get back into having 2, 3 jobs again. Like, we don't want you to have that messy lifestyle. You want to get a job that pays you. Now, if you want to do that, maybe you want to buy 14 houses and you want to be doing extras, that would be totally your choice.
Yeah.
But not from a place of I have to do this because I'm not making enough money. I have to do this. I have to do that, right? So experience is key. And the last one is knowing how to market yourself. You see, you're like a product as well in the marketplace. And think about, why do you buy anything, right? If something is not convincing for you, you're not buying. If something is not useful for you, you're not buying. If something does not make your life better, you're not buying. If something does not, give you feeling of satisfaction, desire, you're not buying. So think about, if you're going to an interview, you're not creating that environment that makes you desirable. When you're marketing your skills and experience, like you're marketing, I always say, what makes you choose a movie out of the different movies on Netflix when you switch on Netflix, right? Maybe assuming you've not gotten any recommendation from anybody, it's just a tiring day, no recommendation, you're just on Netflix, you want to choose a movie. How do you choose that? Can you guys pop it in the chat? What is your thought process? Right? Because of time, you will say, oh, the one that connects with you, the one that shows energy, storytelling, like high drama, things like that in the thriller. And that's how we want you to present your skills in the marketplace. In a way people want to choose you every single time because you're like that interesting movie.
Yeah.
We always say that it's not the most competent or the most
Mm-mm.
person that gets the job, it's the person that
Best presenter.
presenters, right? It's like sales as well. The best presenter wins every single time. So you can't focus on that, on just, oh, I'm nervous and too much, and we help you break that. So your skills are the product, you need to be able to market it. Super important. And our framework works to help you build that skills, gain experience. So what skills are you going to be building? We focus on no-code opportunity. Like Chikwuemeka was saying, Chikwuebuka was saying that, he hasn't heard about no-code, opportunity. These are no-code opportunities where you use the everyday skills we've talked about and you can change your life. In fact, they even pay more than some of the code opportunities like programmer, developers. It's mind-blowing how people mix these things up. And even better, our own framework will teach you all of these because they have intertwined skills so that you can then be confident and remember the research you did earlier. Now, if you do business analyst and there are 8,000 jobs across Australia, you do Scrum Master and there are thousands of jobs, product owner, thousands of jobs, project manager, thousands of jobs. How many jobs do you need to get a job? How many offer? One. If you have the skills and the experience already, you are ready. Like the odds are in your favor. Can you see that? Are you guys getting this? I need to see a yes, right? Are you guys, tell me how you're feeling. Are you guys getting this? All right, pop in the chat. Because we need to know, that you understand this and you get it. You can see the opportunities for you. Yeah, you're excited, amazing, right? So we open up a world of opportunity for you. Now, if you have the skills and you have the experience, like we're saying, you're going to find yourself in an opportunity. And for us, it's not just, teach you practical like Coursera, YouTube video, Confusion, everywhere, right? Or Coursera, there's no accountability, there's no mentorship, there's no feedback. Think about all the things you've learned. If you're a baby, if you have a child or you're a baby, look at your experience. The way you learn things is you're trying to walk, you fall down, you stand up, you're learning stuff, people give you feedback and say, do it like this, write this way. And that's how you build your knowledge. That's how you learn. That's how children learn. That's how we all learn. You need feedback. You don't just need a couple of videos and then you're doing it and you're trying to learn. Imagine doctors just watch videos and that's how they build the expertise they have. that people will just die. So that's not how people learn skills. So why do you think that an online course on Coursera or just a bunch of YouTube videos will be sufficient to get you to the point where you have the right level of skills and experience to be able to do a good job? Now, I'm not talking about people that say, oh, use ChatGPT, create them the ebook online and you make money. I'm not talking about that skills. I'm talking about a skills that you're building a career, an entire career. You're becoming a different person basically. So you can't just, it's not a 10-minute thing, it's not a 5-minute thing. You need expert guidance. You need somebody you need the accountability to be on schedule to learn. So there's a lot of issues with online course. We take you from beginner to what? Expert level. In fact, the name of our organization before was Zero to Hero.
Yeah.
Or we change it to Sync Skills, right? Because we want you to know that you can sync your skills, you can sync your existing skills with new ones and change your life. And that's the idea. But we literally take you on that journey to take you from zero to hero, basically. But you need those three things, like we said. You need to have the skills, you need to have experience, and you need to be able to market yourself the best way.
Yeah.
Market, if you get those three right, they will beg you for, like, some of our students got 2, 3 job offers, and the recruiters are like, please, are you gonna take this
Sure,
offer?
you're going to accept this
Are
offer.
you gonna accept
Please
this?
don't go somewhere else.
Those are the things people don't know. Recruiters can beg you to get offer, to accept an offer, especially when you have options, right? One of our students got 2 offer in February, and the recruiter was like, Lado, are you going to accept this offer? Because when they accept, right, when they place candidate on the job, they get commission as well, right? They get paid. That's their job. They get paid. So imagine they've gone through that process. They now offer you a job, and you're not accepting it because you've got a better offer. They will literally try to persuade you that, please, take this offer. What's the issue? What do you want us to do? That was the kind of conversation. But in this same situation, there are many candidates out there looking for a job, not even getting phone call, not even getting interview. Can you imagine how like crazy that is? Like, some people are begging to even get phone call, while some people, they are begging them to accept an offer. It is it's insane. But what will make somebody beg you to accept an offer? You've got to have the skills, you've got to have the experience. Super important, guys. Right? You become effectively what we say irresistible. You go to a dentist now, your dentist checks, maybe you have toothache. You get there and dentist say, we must remove that teeth now, else so your old teeth will decay and stop. Are you gonna say I'm coming back next year? No, you are in pain. You want to get it done. You're even going to say, please, can we fix it now, 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 now? That is exactly how employer needs some skilled talent. The skilled talent, in quote, they will beg you, but you must become that skilled talent, right?
Yeah.
So let me pass it to Tayo. Tayo has prepared something there.
Yeah, amazing. Like, guys, this is literally really exciting because the way that it is if you have the skills, you know exactly what to say during an interview. That's all you need. Recruiters are praying that you are the one that would be the answered prayer. Contrary to what you might think, the recruiters are doing you a favor, hiring managers. No, you are the one doing them a favor. I talk to them a lot. They go to interview saying, God, please, as I interview Ebuka, please let him just be the candidate that I'm looking for. They also want you. The only question is, you go to an interview, they say, tell me about yourself. You're looking in the ceiling, you're going ABC, like you're not structured. So they say, oh, yeah, it's not the one we're looking for. So if you tell them exactly what they want to hear, you say it in a way, you're personable, you're smiling, you're making eye contact, they'll give you the job. But they won't, even if you're technical, like Noah's story, if you're just like going overly technical, they say, how are you? Fine. You just say fine, one word, no emotions. Aussies want you to chat. So how is it going? Talk about the weather, talk about something, talk about anything. Not just so how are you doing? Good, you good, okay, and then awkward. They instantly, yeah, no, I don't think Tayo is someone I can work with. So we've talked about a lot of really cool stuff today, guys. I know that it's hard to talk about everything all at once, to be honest. Like we could go on and on about all of our success stories, all the amazing people from disability support worker to a surgeon to an accountant to every single person out working in IT. But if guys, I want to ask you a question. If I had a way for you guys to be able, every single person on this call today, for you guys to be able to continue the conversation with us, how many of you guys would be interested in learning about that? How many of you guys would love to further this conversation? Maybe even get a one-on-one with either myself or Noah and just dump all of your concerns and say, Tayo, this is me. This is what I want. Like, how many of you guys would love that opportunity? Guys, talk to me. How many of you guys would love to continue this conversation and learn a bit more about what you can do in the tech space, learn a bit more about what is possible? Ebuka says he's excited, amazing. So I'm assuming this is something that you would love. If you want to build your skills, if you want to do, I would tarry here for this exciting opportunity. I love your energy, Ebuka. Like, how many of you guys would just love to say, nah, I just want this conversation to continue. I want these communication skills of mine that I have, I want to start to see how it can make me money. This conflict resolution skills of mine, Noah already showed us the same framework, but there's another one that I'm going to show you, and this one is the ultimate. And if you don't mind, I have put together this special package for us today, guys. Are you comfortable with me sharing this special package that I have for you today? Yeah, cool, amazing. Yes, okay.
Get feedback from everyone, else we can't continue.
Everyone, let me know. Are you excited about this? Do you want me to go ahead? Do I have your permission to show us what I have packaged together for us today so we can proceed on this? Yeah? Cool.
Can say yes.
All right, Chikubuka, thank you. Lynette, Faith. Oh, we've just got King Size Media. Welcome, King Size Media. You missed quite a lot, but don't worry.
It's recorded.
So you'd have access to it. All right, I have your permission. So I'm going to show us what I have packaged for us. We call it the 6-figure hack. And the reason there is because when you think about the literal meaning of hack, when you hack something, it means you have a manual that an average person doesn't have. It means your journey is going to be relatively easier than the average person. It means you have a direct access to the Almighty. It's like, when you think about Christians, some people have direct access to God. You just go to God and say, let's have a conversation. Some people want to go through a pastor and go through another evangelist before they get to God. When they have access, they don't have the hack. But because you're here today, I'm going to introduce you to what I call the 6-figure hack. And it's really a special package that I've put together for you today, so you can build that skill. So you know that you already have the skill. And I call it the route into building the skills organizations are paying money for. Like I said, I didn't know. I was priding over the fact that my friend has got a baby shower. I organize it to tea. I make sure all the decors, I make sure all the guests, everybody know what they like. I didn't know that these are skills that I'm just putting on the table. The fact that even when it comes to conflict resolution, the way that I handle it, I didn't know that these are skills that organizations are paying for. Ability to be analytical, ability to say, Tayo, this thing is black and white. And with underneath that black and white, you can see other colors and see an opportunities for progress. I didn't even know. These are just normal stuff that God gave me. But I was lucky to be in an environment where someone says, these are the skills that companies are paying for. So don't you there keep leaving money on the table. So question, guys. Do you guys mind me showing the 6-figure hack? Do you guys mind me showing you the exact hack that I have used, that all the success stories that we've shared today have used? Guys, are you ready? Like, do you want me to show you, or would you like me to just end the session here? Otherwise, if you say, yeah, Tayo, let's end the session here, then okay, I will just go with the offer and then we can move on. All right, okay. Chukwuebuka would love to see exactly how it can get into it. Okay, so Well, all right. The team is happy. Lynette, King Size Media, if you guys are, if you guys don't mind me showing you the 6-figure hack, the exact what you need for you to be able to get into the tech space today, please let me know.
Yeah, we've got to get more feedback so we can. Yeah, Chikwebuka is in on that. Review.
Excited.
Okay, all right. Okay. Yeah, I think we can go.
All right, great, amazing, amazing. I have your permission. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you exactly what I put together in terms of the package for you. And the reason that I've done this is because I have looked at every single thing that I needed, every single thing Coursera, Udemy, YouTube, university, dare I say, would not offer you. A lot of you guys have paid like 40 grand, 50 grand in university today. But here's the hack. And here's exactly everything you need for you to upskill. I always say this to people, you don't want to be the black man or the black woman at work that doesn't know what they're doing. So the first thing that you're going to need is 12 weeks of what we call the apprenticeship style of learning. Apprenticeship style of learning. It means you are not going to come to this session like it's Netflix. Just watch, no feedback. You know, Netflix movies don't talk back to you. They just talk to you, talk to you, talk to you. In this session, you would have a real focus and ask questions, would take you from here to there. So the skills that you have already, we start to develop them and make sure, let's make this thing solid. And now if you want to quickly just play the video that I have just to show the guys a bit of visual of what the sessions look like. Say maybe as an investor, starting from now.
It is the way you show up. It is your soft skills. It is.
Oh, sorry. Back.
Yeah, yes, please just go back. Say maybe as an investor, the investor says that they're not giving us funds anymore. Will that impact our business? Yes.
Yeah.
They have influence over the things that we do. So it is important that I manage them properly. If I'm unable to do something, I need to communicate. If something is different from what the expectation is, I also need to communicate. I need to let them know. So it's very, very critical. I hope that we all pen down who a stakeholder is. So that helps you to not just think about them as the people that you talk to. You may not even talk to them. Amazing. You may never talk to the CEO of your company, but are they a stakeholder? Do they have influence over what happens in that company?
Yep.
So in terms of that, you get to see,
etc.
You get to see exactly what happens on the job. Like I mentioned, my role from a 9-to-5 perspective is a senior business analyst. All the other facilitators work in Australia, top companies, right? So what you're being taught is not textbook. You're being taught exactly what you're going to be doing on the job day one, what is required for you. And because that's not enough, you would also get to work on real life projects. Now, when recruiters call you, they say things like, hey, Chukwebuka, thank you so much. So can you run me through some of the real things that you've worked on? They want practical things. They don't care. They're not going to say, so which masters did you study? Or they don't care. They're just going to ask you about what project, what are the real things? And those things, you get to build them. You do weekly assessment. This is a presentation session going. You see presentations. So the first time, some people, they've never shared a slide in their life. Some people, they've never even presented a PowerPoint presentation. They'll just read it. And that is wrong. You can never read your presentation slides. Please, guys, never ever read your presentation slide. You need to present it, right? You need to be able to present. So we introduce it. So you have an opportunity to own. You would come to this session, present your slide, and tell me how you've done the work that you've done. So it is not you got 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10. I don't want that. It's practical. What am I getting you to build? Confidence, communication skills, ability to articulate your thoughts. So you're not just taking from us, we're also getting you to pour out what you're collecting on the inside. So it is not just that I just listen to them. You were both working together, right? So very, very important. And the next one, which you're going to get, do the counting. So that's why we can move on.
But it's been a nice learning curve, because when I see job description, I go back and research about what I don't know. And, with that, I get to learn more.
Okay, and let's talk about the result of all of this hard work. So in the last couple of weeks that you've been doing this, what would you?
Yeah.
Exactly. And you can see this is Precious. By the way, probably if you follow us on Instagram, you would have seen a video. She's done 3 videos. She just couldn't stop because she couldn't believe that she lives in Canberra and now she works as a technical business analyst in Canberra. So this is one of our comments. This is Pius from South Australia, working with South Australian Police. If you don't know what you're doing, police is not going to give you the job, of course. So this is him after his training, and I've lots of different people. Every single thing that you are going to be getting is what they got. It's even a lot better right now, even slicker, right? So you're going to get everything is instructor-led. Communication skills, critical thinking skills, stakeholder thinking skills. Guys, when you have confidence, you can be just about anything and you can be anyone. Confidence takes you far. Confidence is you not even having an answer to the question that they've asked you, but you tackle it from a place of confidence and speak on the things that you're very, very sure of. So those things that then will give you also feedback. Guys, number 4, you get feedback, you get personal reviews from professionals, you get to reach out. We have a collaborative channel called Slack, right? You're able to come in there and ask questions. Those things are very, very important on your journey. Remember, the goal is not to train you. The goal is to equip you with the skills that helps you get a 6-figure job. Some people out there just train you. They want to give you materials. That's not what I do, because that's not valuable to you only by itself without something exciting in the hand. So as I move to number 5, I want you to critically think about the first 4 things that I've said and think about, all of the things that actually contribute to you getting a job. It's enormous. And you're not going to get this for online programs. University doesn't even offer you this, even though you pay lots of money for them in the university, right? So very, very important. Noah, can you move to slide 6, the other slide, please?
Yes,
So here, this one, guys, pay attention. Very, very critical. You know why? Because when you get a job in the tech space, you never work alone. You work with people. But some people lack the ability to work collaboratively with people. By the virtue of you coming onto the program, you would have already simulated that, because you won't work alone. You get to work with other like minds like yourself. Noah showed us a slide of some people who have now moved successfully into the tech space. They all worked in groups, and some of them even built a family, what they call themselves the techie family. They built friends, they built relationship, they work together. As one is getting job 1 week, the one say, nah, my friend can't leave me. I need to get a job as well. They pump application. So you get to meet people. So you're not working alone. It's very isolating doing this thing by yourself. Guys, don't ever try to do it alone. I once did it alone. I know it was tough. That's why I said my journey and my route was long. I didn't have study mates. I was self-studying and getting help from my mentors. That was tough. That's how I know that I want to create an environment where you don't feel like you're by yourself, right? And guys, the next thing I'm going to show you, okay, I have the skills. Tayo, thank you for helping me build the skills. I have everything that I need right now. I have now developed the skills. What else do I need? Like, what more? What else do I need for me to get this 6-figure job, guys? No, I already shared this earlier. If you cannot present yourself properly in an interview, no matter how technical you are, I am sorry to bust it out, but you will not get the job. Point blank, period. You won't get the job. Which is why I then decided, okay, it's not enough for Chukwuebuka or Faith to just get the skills. Let's also give them a nice what they call interview kit, your job application kit, which would include your resume, your cover letter, hundreds of interview questions. We have students working with RACV, we have students working with RACT, we have students working in department of education, we have students working in math, we have a lot. So they've attended this interview, we have students working in Queensland, countless. All the interviews that they attended, there are questions that we've collected. And guess what? Interview questions are recycled. You would get this for free, of course, because you're in the system. People pay for this separately, and it helps them, mostly to get or to move into jobs or to attend interviews from a place of confidence. You also get an opportunity because those kits, you get the tools that's going to help you to apply to jobs. Now, there's something you may not have heard this before, but the mistake that you're currently making right now is some of you guys use one resume to apply to multiple jobs. That's not going to get you an outcome. It won't get you an outcome because one resume for one job, for 5 jobs, do they need the same thing? 5 children from the same parent. Do they like the same food? No. Do they like the same set of clothes? No. So why would you give multiple jobs one resume? You need to tailor your resume into what the job is needing. And we have tools that will guide you with that, which you would have access to as well. And what we call the interview coaching. Now, with the personalized mock interview coaching, which is number 7, that one ensures that the first time you are, guys, if you've ever been in an interview and you've been tensed, can you give me a shout out? Can you tell me, like, when you go to interview, you feel a little bit nervous and tense, like you're just scared because you don't know where the question is coming from? Guys, if that's ever happened to you, leave me a comment in the group chat. If that's ever happened to you, where you go to an interview and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what they will ask me. I don't know what's going to happen. It happens a lot, right? If we're being completely honest. But because you would have had the opportunity to practice your mock interview questions. We have a dedicated session where I'm going to put you on the hot seat and say, Tayo, Lynette, we're going to answer this question. We're going to act as if we're in an interview room. And our students have feedback saying this is even harder than real interviews. And it is true because we drill you. We go deep down. Of course, you also get industry project banks. Acknowledging that this is not a field that you've particularly worked in before, you would be equipped to get everything that you need. Yeah, thank you, Chikebuka. Having the same experience because you didn't practice. There's a lot of different ways to practice, different ways. Structured, unstructured, but you need to practice. Never go into an interview without practicing, right? We also give you what we call the facilitated job strategy sessions. Again, these are dedicated sessions to you. I'm showing you step by step. Apply like this. Don't do this way. Don't use this resume. Delete this from your resume. Dedicated to you. It is not a give you template and go away. No. There are dedicated sessions to cater for your need, to think about the work that you've done wherever you've done it and see how we can simulate that. You also have what we call your one-on-one resume review and project review. You write it out, we review it one-on-one. So it is not a blanket, just throw templates for everyone and go and take it and use it. No. It's a lot of effort that goes into ensuring that you would attend that interview from a place of confidence as opposed to shaky and being tired. And of course, there are different case study reviews, interviews that we worked on, that we've given to a lot of people. So our students, when they get an interview, we support them, they send some of the questions, and we use that to help you to know exactly what is left, what is needed, right? Again, this one, what Noah has got on the screen, has helped a lot of people build confidence. There's a popular interview question. If you know it, tell me. You can never escape it. It's the tell me about yourself question. But it's interesting because that is the one question, that is the one part that candidates lose recruiters. And they will just do courtesy and ask you, but they already made their mind from your intro. Recruiters make up their mind from the first time you open your mouth. And a lot of people even forget. Interview does not start when they send you Teams link. Interview starts from the first time they call you and say, hey, I saw your resume. Every single thing that you say from that moment, you are being judged. And that's why we have what we call the elevator pitch challenge. It's a 10-day intensive challenge where you consistently, deliberately practice how to introduce yourself in a way that it sounds like you're reading a poem, but you're also talking to someone's name. You're touching all the areas, pinpoint. Imagine you talk to someone and it looks as if, how come do you know, how do you know what is on my mind? That is exactly the vibe that you give to recruiters, because you would have practiced the same thing with your project, which is on the other side. The same thing, we even also have group mock interview sessions. So you're also learning from other people. Oh, I love the way Faith presented her thoughts today. I think I'm going to adapt some of the things that she said. So you get an opportunity to see what other people are doing. Like, guys, crazy. But this is what has helped a lot of people, a lot of the testimonials that I've shared. And again, we have our ad hoc case study. I've already mentioned that. But I think we're still missing something. We're still missing one more thing. Now, if you wanted to go to the other slide. So now, guys, remember, you have built the skills. To the next slide. You've built the skills. You now have what I call the job application kit. What else are we missing? What else do you need? There's still something that is missing that you're waiting for. Noah, can you go to the next slide, please? That you're looking out for. Guys, you may have all the skills. You may know how to interview well, but there's something that they love. They love the Australian work experience. It just makes you look attractive, like you understand the system, right? You guys can't claim that because no one's going to give you that. But we offer you that. We give you an opportunity to work with a software development company where you can claim up to 2 years of experience. But it comes with a price. You have to show up. If you don't do your assessment, if you don't show up in classes, I cannot defend you, unfortunately. So I need serious-minded and passionate people that understand exactly that I also want you to be a professional out there. The goal is not to just get a 6-figure job. The goal is to have the skills that the people that do 6-figure jobs have, so you can stand anywhere. So you get an opportunity to work with an Australian company and gain real life experience. If you're a really great student, you get to claim up to 2 years of experience. I want to believe that all of us are like on that journey where we were really confident that we can give this our best. Now, for you to get a job, what else am I going to need to act this 6-figure job? I remember. Someone's going to do a reference check for you, all right? This is Australia. Hello. You're never going to get a job without a valid reference check, no matter how amazing they think you are. If you do not have a reference check, it's impossible. Noah, can you play one of our videos where we're providing a reference check for a student?
Good job. Wow, so talk to me. How are you feeling? Our new business analyst. You resume next week, right?
Yeah, next week, Monday. This time next week now.
Be at work.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling? Talk to me.
Well, I'm of course very, very happy and excited.
Yeah.
Finally. After it seems like an eternity.
Yeah.
So this is actually possible to do. So I was able to get that, and then the mixed feelings like, okay, so what's not going to happen? No?
What next? You know that.
What am I going to go and do there?
That's the.
Yes, city government.
Wow.
I got a job with Yes City government.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes City government.
Yes, as a data analyst.
Amazing. Wow. When was that today? Wow. So talk to me. How are you feeling? Our new business analyst. You resume next week, right? I know you remember that you messaged me first.
Sorry. Well, sorry.
All right. So, guys.
So talk to me.
Those are real people on the call talking about how everything has changed for them. You also definitely get unlimited access to instructors. When you get the job, acknowledging that it's a new terrain for you, you might need advice or you might just need to brainstorm with someone. So pretty much you are never, ever working alone. Isn't that correct, Noah?
Absolutely, guys. So, like we mentioned earlier, it's not enough to just have lots of information. To build skills, you need to have it. To build any skills, there are in three levels. First, you acquire information, and that's where a lot of online courses, even the university, stop. They show you so many information. Yeah, you need to learn this, read this, do this reference, get this reference from this, or meet this thing. Is information, right? The second stage of building that skill is actually comprehension. Do you understand? Right? Do you understand all of this information? Right? And the most important part is now, how do you synthesize this information? That is the practical application of the information. So how do you turn all of this information that you have into solving problems? And that's what employers pays you for. Now, how can you do that when you're just learning something as a beginner? You need guidance. You need to be able to say, okay, I know this thing. Now, this is how I understand it. I'm trying to solve this problem using this information and skills that I have, but this is the result I'm getting. Am I on the right track? Do I need to do it different way? Oh, instructor, your coach, your guide would say, oh yeah, you're on the right track. Do it this way to even become better. All of that. You need that to be able to build the skills. It's super important, right? Really important team. So that is how you will be able to build the skills in a way that you become attractive. Remember, we want to make these recruiters beg us to say that, that thing, like, when are you going to sign this offer? Because you have choices to make. If you get 2 job offers, 3 job offers, now it's a decision. We have so many people who are like, oh, this one's 120k, this one's 130k, this one gives me full remote work, this one allows me to get bonus at the end of the year. So they are like, there's a headache of which one should I choose? Now, question for you. If we're going here now, Taya has talked about a lot of things, a lot of support, because maybe we want to think about our own experience. You probably thought, to get a job, I just need to have skills. Maybe let's just agree. You say, I just need to learn the skills, do training, right? And I need to get resume, and I need to, prepare for interview, and that's it. But you can see, for you to build the skills and transition successfully, you need a lot more. You need to build the skill. Remember, we mentioned you need to identify that gap and then build the right skills. If you want to become a business analyst, you need to learn what business analyst does, right? So that is what we focus on 12 weeks. We work with you to do that. And we do it in a way that does not impact your life too much, at least. It's the same time, you just need to reduce the Netflix you read, right? So the value we put here, just be realistic. If somebody was going to show you how to build a skill that pays you average of $120,000, does it make sense to invest and going through that journey for 12 weeks with you? Is it value to pay 1,500 AUD? And I want you can put it in the chat as well, because we want to walk through that together. Right now, we've talked about how your experience is key and everything for you. You can be good and know the theory. If you don't have experience, an acquired experience, you can't get the job, right? And thinking about that thing, that job that will give you flexibility and change your life, is this value. Groups, Taya has mentioned why that's important. You can't do things alone. Structured led presentation. This space is where you build your presentation skills for interview, so that when you get to that interview stage, you are not like, tell me about yourself. You're thinking on the spot, like you're already building that skills before the session. So this happens during that 3 months as well. You become a new person. Now imagine when they call you in your church or your social gatherings, come and say something. You have built skills that you're not terrified, like, oh, what am I going to say? Have you been in an occasion, they say, come and give a speech, and you are already like, God, why would you call me? Before, we've all had that moment. But now I don't, because I know how to control conversation, right? How to quickly adjust. Even if they call me like impromptu, I know some things I can say. How do you become that person? That is what we go through. Presentation, how you frame conversation. Soft skills is going to change your life. So, and look at the value. Assessment, feedback, personal review, application, job. Think about it. Some of you have been applying, nothing, nada. You're not getting any feedback. And we know why. We know why, because we support a lot of people, right? And we have Project Bank, because we've trained so many people. We've worked on so many projects together. We have real projects that you can use to your leverage. There's a phrase, smart people learn from their mistake, but wise people learn from the mistake of others. We've learned so many things over the years coaching people, right? And that has been the bedrock of this program, where we know what works. It's just going to give it to you, right? There's nowhere in the world where they say, we're going to give you lifetime support to achieve a particular goal. We are saying, when it comes to transition, if you come into our world, we're always going to be there for you. So it's now about you. Do you want to quit or not, right? So if you see failure as yes or no, then you quit. That's on you. But for us, we say, we know that if you don't get something now, maybe you go for an interview, you don't get it, we're here to still work with you to say, hey, this is it. So 3 months is not 3 months, then goodbye. 3 month learning, but then the support continues. And what is the support? This elevator pitch. Tanya has explained why that is important. The project pitch. Oh my God. How do you explain your project that demonstrates your experience? Right? It's super important. This is what gets you the job, because you're telling them, yeah, last week I fixed this thing in the project I worked on. Last day I did this. So imagine that. And that is what makes a difference. So you will not be applying for entry-level jobs, because people want to apply for entry-level jobs because they are not skilled, they don't have experience, they want to look for a safe bet. We've discussed why that is dangerous, right? So project, then group mock interviews, case study interview review, they are actually priceless information and support system for you. Then we go into, how do you gain experience to build your confidence, to gain, like, if you don't have experience doing something, you may see it as an abstract concept.
Yeah.
So we give you experience in this area. So when you walk in there, you can talk about, oh, I worked on this project, this was the result, in a believable way. And we give you reference check. If you get a job now, you can't go and meet your company now and say, okay, whatever you're doing, and get experience there, because it doesn't correlate. So we give you experience validated for you. And then we validate it through reference check when they call, right? And you always have access to the facilitators to support you on that dream. Now, if all of these things are true, and these are the secrets that get you the job, and we're talking about average job of $120,000 average. We've shown proof. There are so many people. If you want to meet them, if you go on our socials, you see so many stories as well. If that is true, do you think that the investment, if somebody says invest $11,491 and you're gonna get a return of a career that gives you 120 average salary for your life, and you continue to improve? Of course, after 1 year you get promotion, you get this, and you start to increase your salary going forward. Does that represent good investment for you? I want to know, I want to know in the chat, based on this, alone. If someone say guaranteed, you're gonna get a job within 3, 6 months, 1 year. If you put, depending on how much you put into committing to the program, right? And you get an average job of $120,000. Does that represent value for you? Now, if that is a yes, we're obviously not going to charge you that. Obviously, we're not going to charge you that, right? But we need to know, is that value for you? Invest this and that and change my life and have the things we can't quantify. You have flexibility, you can work from anywhere, you can spend more time with family, you now have a career that is high growing and you continue to increase your earning power. You can go and start your business, all of those things. I was saying the value is 11,499, but because you're here to the end today, we're going to give you a special offer, excluding GST, to just pay $4,000 if you want to take us on that, if that represents value for you. And we're going to go on that journey together next couple of months to change your life. You see magic happen, right? Time and time again. So that is it. We're going to pop the link if you want to take us on the offer on chat, right? And if you have questions, our time is fast spent. We're going to answer those questions. If you have questions for us,
yeah, if anyone's got any question at all, please let us know in the group chat. We're going to take your question in like 2 minutes. But yeah, like Noah said, if you want to take us up on the offer, thank you, Chukwuebuka, for acknowledging that that's big value. And if it's just also a bit of a reflection for us to think about what universities are charging to provide you less of what we've just shared. We all know, because we've all gone through university before. University provides you with learn and certification, but they don't prepare you for the job market. They don't. And if you look at the price guide in here, this is from Torrance University, real. It's on YouTube, it's on Google. You can find it there yourself. Look at the amount that they're charging. The lady that Noah was speaking to, and if you've seen her Instagram as well, Adewumi, she studied MBIS, but significantly struggled to get a job. She couldn't. After she finished Masters of Business Information System, which is meant to be easy, but university doesn't prepare you for interview. They don't prepare you for project. They don't prepare you for what happens on the job. They teach you basics, theory, and that's not enough. So think about it. University with no job guarantee versus a platform where they say we work with you. Once you do graduation, in fact, what's graduation? Once you write your last exam, uni don't care about you no more. It's goodbye, God bless. Transaction is over. And it is what it is. That's the system. So if you guys have got any questions, let us know in the group chat. Really keen. Otherwise, if you want to take us up on the offer, we have it up onto how many hours does this last for, Noah, the offer?
This lasts until Sunday evening, cut-off time, and then that's it. We start again next week. On our website is much more. It's going up. It's now 5,000 plus GST as well. But you have chosen to spend your weekend with us, so we believe you are absolutely interested in changing your life and exploring a different career. So if that's you, we're giving you this special opportunity. Take us up on this, opportunity today. So, and yeah, because again, we want to make things easy for you. If you wanted to use maybe Afterpay, so you can have a bit of installment, you can send us an email, and we can so you don't lose out on the offer. Can lock that in there. But Afterpay has a bit of percentage increase. We can work that out. So we give you flexible payment option, but you've got to send us an email, to indicate that you're interested and this is what you want to do, and then we go on that journey. But if there's no other question, our time is fast spent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the time. I hope you found it very insightful. Please remember, cutoff is Sunday evening, 12 a.m. So as we cross over to Monday, this offer end effectively only for you guys on the webinar today. This was a closed webinar. We didn't publicize it. We just wanted to get a very small group in there, and you guys are the lucky ones to share this moment with us. We really appreciate it. We hope you found value. If you want to go apply this as well, it's great. And we believe that at least you have a mindset shift on what is possible, in Australia, and what is possible for you to change your life. So thank you all so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll speak soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.